Three, two, one, let's go! What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Grüezi miteinander, Gregory for Lebe Stark here. Guys, how are you doing? I hope you guys are doing fine. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, we have a lot to cover. I have a few things that I want to share with you right now, but let me just check. Yeah, the image is looking good. We have 21 folks in the chat. Welcome, everybody. So awesome that you guys are joining. I'm keeping the chat in view, but before we want to get started, I have a couple of things for y'all. A lot of things have been happening lately, and the YouTube channel is going into a very interesting direction. I was doing daily uploads in summertime, and now I have to change up some things because I have an awesome announcement that I'm gonna share right now. But first of all, guys, thank you so much for joining. I think we're almost at 27K, right? 27,000 subscribers. It's awesome how the YouTube channel has grown lately, and even in summer. June was the strongest month we've experienced. I think we've gathered over 4,000 subscribers in June, which is a crazy number. July was a little down, but still was pretty nice. Then August, it settled a little bit, and now I think we're on cruising speed a little bit. But don't think for a second that Gregory is not working on the next viral hit. Oh yes, guys, let me tell you, as a YouTuber, oh man, I had this great conversation with Chandler Marchman, and it's so hard, man, to not always be focused on the analytics. But you know, I just love what I do, and sometimes it just gets lost. But guys, before we get started, I have a little word from our sponsors. Stravo, my name is of no importance to you. Just know this: I sponsored today's video of Lebe Stark. In the back you see my friend Igor. We are both hunting for good kettlebell channels. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Lebe Stark YouTube channel, or else, comrade, we can't consider you to be a true student of the art of kettlebell training. Tja, you heard what Igor said, so like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So let's dive into it now. Before I jump into the Q&As, guys, of course, we have something for you guys rocking. So, and I have now just realized that I forgot to add the link because I'm such a, man, so much stuff is going on. So now I gotta add the links, guys. Check this out. I'm adding this awesome link right now. And let me switch right here. Man, I gotta, where do I have to put it? I put it right here. You can see I'm putting the boom, this link right here, and this link is on fire. This link is on fire. Pin that message, guys. You should see a link right now. Okay. Now, what is this link? As usual, whenever we have somebody join our live stream, so we have 24 folks in the chat, guys, what I want you to have is 90 days of kettlebells. I want you to have it. And what I'm offering to you is not only your discount, just gotta get this news out of the way, and for everybody joining, we are switching from Swiss francs into US dollars. I decided to switch, and you have to imagine, Swiss currency is worth more than United States dollars, but I switched it. And don't worry, if you're in the chat right now and you bought 90 days of kettlebells, you're gonna get an awesome discount for that thing that I'm about to announce right now, as long as you're on the early bird list, which I'm coming to in a second. So now we have switched from Swiss francs to US dollars. Now I'm offering you 10% off 90 days of kettlebells, guys. 90 days of kettlebells, as maybe some of you know it, is our workout course where we accompany you for 3 months. It's a self-paced workout course where we offer you, I think, how many workouts is it now? Because we continually update 90 Days of Kettlebells. It's a live course. So I think it's now sitting at the bonus workouts, they sit at 20 or something. So 20 bonus workouts. But then the workouts that are in between that build you up from beginner to an advanced level, they're in there. It's 3 months. I think it's over 150 lessons right now. It's a huge course, right? So now it's 10% off. That's the link that I have shown you right now that is in the chat box right now. You can click it. And then what happens? You got to use that link. It's valid only as long as I'm live. As soon as we're off, it's done. So the first step that you have to do is you have to set up an account with our academy, and then it says complete your purchase. And with that link that I have shared in the chat, you get the automatic discount added to it. So that's what's up. So now, what happened? What happened here? What happened here? Oh my, what happened here? Sorry, I gotta react. Hey, what happened? That's ugly. Gotta look good. So, news, guys. Upload schedule is switching. We're now switching to a schedule that allows me to realign my priorities because I have stuff going on right now. Doesn't mean that I'll stop uploading, but the upload schedule will be reduced, but it will, let me put it like this, the quality has to improve, in my opinion. I want to give you better quality of content, and with daily business coming right now and everything that's happening right now, I got to realign my priorities. So it's probably once a week, but we'll see. Now, and the second project that I'm having right now, the first project actually, the upload schedule is not a project, is the Tactical Athlete project, guys. I'm so looking forward to sharing this with you. We have one of the leading figures of our local law enforcement school. He is going on a armed stage run. So he has to go through different stages, and then in the midst of these stages, he has to experience physical stress. So he asked me if I could support him, adding physical stress with kettlebells. So we came up with some great exercises. I came up with some great stuff that I took from Simple and Sinister from Pavel Tsatsoulin's book. I've incorporated it into this program that he will run through, and we will film everything. So a little bit of shooting, a little bit of guns, and kettlebells. So it's gonna be awesome. And number 3 that I'm looking forward, I'm having a podcast session tomorrow with Ramsey Dewey, the MMA champion, the MMA coach from Tokyo. I think he's from Tokyo. So he recently accepted our invite to the Kettle Nights podcast. I'm also having Dr. McGill coming up. Dr. Stuart McGill is a legendary scientist, a world-renowned spine scientist. So I'm going to ask him all types of questions, kettlebell related when it comes to spine health. And we are working on that first kettlebell round table. And YouTube Punk, my brother Jason, all right? You see YouTube Punk in the chat right now, how he's going nuts and crazy. I love Jason, right? Jason, I love you, brother. Because what you do, you're always so supportive of the channel. You're always supportive, always in the chat, always making noise, always even answering questions as I'm now checking the chat. I love you, brother. And he came up with a great idea. He said, Gregory going full Nick Fury, assembling the Kettlebell Avengers. So that's what's happening, guys. It's going to be the first round table. So I'll have on Steve Cotter, Brittany Van Stravendijk, Kat's Kettlebell Dojo, Luca Kurche, Chandler Marchman, and me. The 6 of us in one session, in one podcast session. It's going to be nuts. So, and the first thing that I'm going to ask these guys is, which Avenger are you? Because I already know which Avenger I am. I am Nick Fury. I'm not an Avenger per se. I'm just the guy who's pulling on the strings, right? Really looking forward to it. Now, don't worry. I'm checking out the questions as soon as I'm ready. Give me a few more seconds. Guys, I have to announce this. This is the brand new course that I'm working on. It's called the Hybrid Style Masterclass. And what this is, my brothers and sisters, is what's the English word? I had to check out the pronunciation and now I forgot it. Encyclopedia. Hi. Encyclopedia. I forgot the pronunciation. Enzyklopädie ist das deutsche Wort. It's a German word. Encyclopedia. Man, forget it. It's an encyclopedia of everything that I have learned in the last 2 years since my inception as a certified IKFF coach by Steve Cotter. Steve Cotter was the original hybrid. And I am thoroughly convinced that there is a new style, that Steve Cotter was the original. I am not the inventor of that style. I'm just the dude who slaps a name on it. The hybrid style. I've talked to all these experts, as maybe some of you have seen on our podcast. And there is room for a hybrid style. And we have to, this is the moment, this course is the birth of the emergence of the hybrid style. It's not the birth because Steve Cotter is the OG, the original hybrid. And I talked to him about it and he liked the idea. So what the hybrid style does is when you are following and checking out our channel and our stuff, you see no tribalism going on. Well, I have to be a little bit more accurate. There was some tribalism going on until I awakened and found out tribalism oftentimes leads to division, and that stuff we have enough of right now in the world, so we don't need it. We don't need the kettlebell world to be divided. So kettlebell sport, hard style, hybrid style. See that? Kettlebell sport, hard style. And if you combine the two, you engage in the hybrid style. So that's what's up. It is a master class, guys. And let me tell you, when I started working on this course, I've started, I think, a week ago. Somebody already asked us to do a technique course like this because I have one in German. And then somebody asked me and said, please translate this course. And I was like, you know how much work that is to translate this German course into English. But now, I'm not only translating the German course, I'm adding stuff to it. And the stuff that I'm adding to it, guys, it is I would say if Enter the Kettlebell or Russian Kettlebell Challenge was Pavel Tsatsoulin's Magnus Opus, okay, his greatest work, then I believe the hybrid style is mine. Just a small detour now. This is the curriculum, and I'm not joking. Everything that I know densely packed into a course. This is not 90 Days of Kettlebells. 90 Days of Kettlebells is shallow compared to this. Because 90 Days of Kettlebells is a different beast. It is a workout course. But this is a technique course. I think I've lost count. I've recently recounted the lessons. It's over 100 lessons. And the amount of work that I have in front of me is like, so much work. I'm putting in probably a full week hours of work into this course. As you can see, we have different chapters. We talk about the hybrid style in and all by itself, how to use this class. You can join our Facebook group. You can understand why Lebe Stark, why I believe we are qualified to help you. You will learn about the original hybrid. You will learn about the fundamentals of the hybrid theory when it comes to working with kettlebells, how we believe it. You will understand the power of the kettlebell, why I believe the kettlebell is the Swiss knife of modern training modalities. You will understand kettlebell differences. You will understand weight recommendations. You will know exactly what weights to choose. You will know how to progress with weights. You will understand where's the style continuum between kettlebell sport, hard style, and the hybrid style. You will see the recommended kettlebell institutions that I believe are the most bang for your buck if you want to become a certified coach. Lebe Stark will probably be on that list one day, but right now I think it's too soon. We just have to earn our trust from everybody in the kettlebell world, so it takes some time. So you will also learn about kettlebell science, what is the science, what it's up to. Then you have quizzes in that course. Quizzes to test your learning experience. Then you will understand kinesiology and movement, the basics. We don't take a deep dive. In some areas, we just have to understand the basics. You will understand training variables, the styles, and frequency. How many times do I have to work out? You will understand our training philosophy, which we now call the Stark style. This is Angie's idea. The Stark style is our training and coaching philosophy. You will understand progressive overload. You will understand cellular respiration, the basics. We will jump into grip, stance, and positioning. You will understand how to use chalk. You will understand what mechanical loading is and all the different planes of motion and how they apply in kettlebell training. You will understand what variety is, why I believe in the basics and not in a lot of variety. You will understand basic categories of kettlebell exercises. You will understand what kettlebell safety means. You will understand what breathing means, breathing in training and recovery, which is so incredibly important. You will understand the hinge, the most important movement pattern in kettlebell training. You will understand the warm-up, mobility routines that you need to embark in your kettlebell training. And then there's another quiz. It keeps on going, guys. The grinding lifts, all the grinds. You got the deadlift, the row, the reverse lunge, the goblet squat, the press, the windmill, the Turkish get-up. And did you know that the Turkish get-up has 20 phases that you will have to memorize in order to really perfect the lift? Probably not. That's what I'm here for, guys. You will understand a farmer's walk, because I've added the farmer's walk and the farmer's life. The farmer's walk is one idea of working with the kettlebell, where you have it in a suitcase position. But then I think years ago, I read a great article from an RKC coach who said there is an idea where you have it in a suitcase, in a clean, and in the overhead subfixation in the waiter's walk. I call this the farmer's life. You will learn this exercise. You will have a quiz, and here it comes, guys. That's why I believe this course is going to be very powerful. You will send us your form, according to the rules in the course. You will send us your form via the course, so I can give you feedback, proper feedback, so that you understand, wow, the coach is looking at my form. Yes, he is, most definitely. I will check out your form and give you feedback. You will understand. I gotta keep going because I love that stuff. I really love it. And I love to hear it multiple times, because when I hear it multiple times, then it burns into my brain. We talk about the ballistics. You will understand the hardstyle swing, the kettlebell sport swing, the hybrid swing, the differences, the best drills, common mistakes. You will have a proper solution probably against your back pain, and you will have another quiz to test your knowledge and another form check. Then we keep going. You will learn the clean and press, the clean and jerk. You will have a demo. You will have proper drills. You will understand the jerk, the difference between a strict press, a push press, and a jerk. You will have the best tips to improve your hand insertion. To really, somebody commented already, he has rainbow arms. You know what that means, rainbow arms? It's when you keep crashing and slapping the kettlebell on your wrist. This is not supposed to happen. If you improve your technique with this course, this will go away. Then we have the snatch, the beast of an exercise. The hardest exercise to learn. I think I've never done a video on the snatch. Here we have a whole chapter dedicated to the snatch. Then we'll even talk about doubles, guys. You'll understand what doubles really mean. 9 basic exercises for the doubles that I believe are the most bang for your buck. The double deadlift, gorilla clean, gorilla row, renegades, double clean, double press, jerk, double front squat, long cycle, farmer's walk, farmer's life. Best practices, guys. I'm going all in. I'm telling you. I'm going all in. It's bonus content. I'm not joking. This is what you're getting. You get the rest position concept, understanding what the rest position is in the goblet squat. You get winning variance. You know what Dan John says about variety? How do we spell variety? W-I-N. We want to win, and you win mostly with the basics. However, I believe there are some variants and some variations that you can imply when it's about the deadlift, the squat, and the press. You get a workout guide. You get the full seminar with Steve Carter. You get so much stuff. And you know what you're also getting? 30 days of kettlebells and 90 days of kettlebells. Boom! You get them both together. It's a bundle. You get it all. And I'm not stopping there, guys. You see chapter 11, continuous learning? You know what will happen? This will be just like 90 days of kettlebells. This will be a living and breathing course, because I want to take a small, I want to invite you into my brain for just a second, into my thought patterns. When I talk to these giants, to Steve Carter, Dan John, man, I'm looking forward to talking to Dr. Stuart McKeel, Brittany, Kat, all these legends. And I'm so looking forward to the conversation tomorrow with Ramsey Dewey. Guys, in my brain, it's like a Christmas tree that lights up. So many things. We had a great idea about the tactical getup. A tactical getup with the idea with the tactical athlete, where I was thinking about somebody has to be able to lay down with a firearm, with a long shot, with a long rifle, right? And the person has to go down and go back up, prone and from a standing position into prone position and then back up without reaching down to the floor. This is stuff that is happening in my brain because I'm talking to great folks. And whenever I get great ideas, I make a video about it or I write about it and then I put it in the course. This is my simple and sinister, guys. I'm not joking. 100 plus lessons. Yeah, this is going to be a beast and I'm so hyped. I'm so incredibly hyped to have you guys check out this course when it's ready. It probably takes at least another month. And it's going to cost you a lot of money. You know why? Because I want to work with folks who are exceptionally interested into kettlebells. This is not for folks who think, well, I'm just casually around here. This is for folks who want to take a deep dive into the skill, the art, the passion, and the love of kettlebell training, understanding everything that's in it. And that's my contribution. It's going to be $9.97, probably. I'm still thinking about the price. But early birds, doesn't matter what the price is, early birds will get 20% off, guys. 20% off. And now what I have to do for a small session, wait a second, I got to share the link with you guys where you can sign up. Wait a second, give me a second. That's when you don't do your homework. Boom. The link is in the chat, guys. Gregory sometimes not doing his homework. Oh my. So, check out this link. You can sign up. And when the course releases, you get 20% off for a week. This will be release week. When 90 Days of Kettlebells released, we sold, I think it was 20 courses in release week. And the beautiful thing about 90 Days of Kettlebells, I think we've reached over 100 courses now. We're close, and I think we've reached it. So I see there's so much potential. And with the world right now going nuts, as it seems, it's awesome if you're equipped at home with something that can give you the most bang for your buck for the time that you're willing to invest in training. And believe me, please, one thing. Most people have a hard time training. It's not easy. They have a hard time training. So when you engage in training, I want you to get the most bang for your buck. And I want you to get that feeling where I am right now. Because I remember when I started, I picked up at 20 and I was like, what is this? And I'm used to deadlifting 170 kilo. I'm not a very strong dude, but I cracked the 100 kilo bench press and 170 deadlift and 140 squat. So I was like, ooh, kilos, huh? So I was like, hey, what's up with that 20 kilo? Why is it killing me? And now the 20 kilo and I were melting. And I want you to have that feeling, that awesome feeling. It's just unique. And I fell in love with kettlebells, as you can see. I'm burning for that thing. And I hope you guys do as well. So now, another word from our sponsors. And then let's check out the questions. Stravo, my name is of no importance to you. Just know this. I sponsored today's video of Lebe Stark. In the back you see my friend Igor. We are both hunting for good kettlebell channels. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Lebe Stark YouTube channel. Or else, comrade, we can't consider you to be a true student of the art of kettlebell training. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in 30 minutes into the stream, and now I'm starting the Q&A. You guys must be like, come on man, 30 minutes? I gotta wait for 30 minutes until you answer questions? What kind of dude are you? So now, let's check it out guys. I want to see, I have to find those questions because I saw some. And Let's see. We have, let's check out the chat. Dean, my man, he says he's away tonight doing his birthday thing. Wow, happy birthday, Dean. Awesome. But we'll look forward to hearing this on Catch Up tomorrow. Hope you all have a good one. Thank you, brother. Dean. Dean has been with us for a long time now. Thank you so much, man. Matt, Greg, when working out, hey, Matthew DiBella, my man, my brother. That's awesome. He booked a few sessions with us. It's awesome. And you made some great progress, Matt. Really enjoying the way your journey. Greg, when working with interval time sets, 1 minute, 2 minutes, when do you work up to 4 or 5 minutes? Is it still necessary to do when you work up to 4 or 5 minutes, is it still necessary to do a 4-round interval? That's a great question. Well, Matt, it depends on your goal. The reason why I believe I gotta turn this off because I'm a little bit distracted. Now, the reason it depends on your goal. If you want to build your endurance or focus on endurance more than on strength, muscle building, because I think that's a beautiful triangle that the kettlebell engages in. It can build muscle, it can build your endurance, and it can build your strength. So if you say, for example, you work your way up to a 5-minute swing, then I don't think you have to do 4 rounds of 5 minutes. The reason why we chose that 2-minute version is because, first of all, it's easy to work with. If you, for example, work with one arm only and you switch at half time, so that's 1 minute per arm, that allows you to work on your technique without burning your arm and without destroying you. And it's a beautiful volume that generates. I think depending on the exercise you work with a snatch, you probably do 40 reps or let's say like 35 reps. With a swing, you probably go up to 60, 80 reps. So you're in a pretty nice and neat rep range, depending on the weight you're choosing. So that's why we opt in for 2 minutes. But of course, if you work with longer time and you're like, okay, brother, I want to work with a 10-minute clean and jerk, for example, then that's your workout. Okay, you do 5 minutes left, 5 minutes right, then you take a heavy breather, you take a long break, and then you engage in another 10 minutes, maybe with a snatch. This was a beast of a workout that we did on Monday. We did a half marathon where we engaged in the clean and jerk, 5 minutes left, 5 minutes right. And we engaged in this, was 7.5 minutes left, 7.5 minutes right. And then we engaged in the snatch, 7.5 minutes left, 7.5 minutes right. So we sometimes do switch up that stuff as well. But then I know I will more move into the endurance side of things if I work for that long. So in that case, I don't believe you have to stick to those 4 rounds. The 4-round principle with those 2 minutes and 3 exercises is just a very nice and neat volume that it generates, because the workout will be about 30 minutes and you're done. I hope that answers your question, brother. Crystal Beers, let me sort all my post-it notes now while I have the chance. That's awesome. YouTube Paul, my brother, always rocking in the chat. I had a question about positions. Like in the top and bottom part of the swing and the top of the clean and press. Which muscle should be flexed, tightened, engaged? Well, let's work through it step by step. In the top part of the swing, right? Fully extended. Your muscles that should be tight, depending on the style of swing you're using. Let's work with a hard style swing. Then you want to stay in that upright plank position. So almost your full body is tight when you're in that upright position, especially when you work with heavy weights. In the hybrid swing where you're hinging only and you don't have a huge snap, I would still say you make sure you're in a nice plank position. Maybe not as tight as in the hard style, because that's what I'm feeling when I work with a 48 kilo right now. I'm swinging with the 48. And I'm really getting comfortable with the 48 right now in the hard style swing. then I feel that my body needs more tension in order to engineer out those shear forces that may occur in your spine. In the hybrid swing, you work with moderate weight, so it's different. In the kettlebell sport swing, I believe you can stay fairly relaxed because you use your quads additionally, because you use that pendulum leg action, or you have double bent knees, then it works a little bit different. So when you are in the bottom of the swing, that's a great question. Hard style again, your anterior chain is flexed, most of it, and the frontal part of your body, especially your abs, I think your abs are always flexed. It's a great idea to always keep your abs tight in the hard style swing. And your lats. Your lats always have to be really tight with the heavy weights. In the hybrid, you can stay fairly loose, and in the kettlebell sports swing also, you can stay fairly loose. That's one of the biggest differences between hardstyle, hybrid, and kettlebell sport, in my opinion. Now, the clean and jerk. Let's talk about the clean and jerk. Now, when you are, there's a lot of phases involved, and we can just, well, that's a great question, brother Jason. That's a great question. So let's just, let me give you some of my sauce. That sounds funny. Let me give you some of my sauce. And check out, and that's straight from the seminar, guys. Straight from the course, because that's a seminar that I'm using to coach people online as well. So let me give you that. I'm sharing this with you guys because I love you so much. So here we are in the rack rest position in the clean and jerk. Okay, so here it's a very interesting phenomenon, because when I talked to Brittany, Fit Brit, she said when she racks the kettlebell, you have to earn that relaxation. Because when you rack the elbow on the iliac crest of your hip, and you have your lower body tense and your upper body's flexed a little bit, it's a very crucial position, because if you do it wrong, you probably hurt your lower back. So I believe, in my opinion, I keep my quads fairly tight. And Fitbrit said she doesn't, but she's still locked. I do understand what she means. Yet, in my case, I feel more comfortable if I keep my quads locked and on the fire, because then my dip and my bump, these two, are fairly strong. So in that position, either in the double dip or the jerk, I think the overhead top fixation in the jerk is one of the most interesting phases. Because according to Dennis Vasilev, when you're in the top fixation, what happens is you relax your quads, your legs, and your shoulders still tight, but, and that's an interesting concept that we call skeletal support. As you can see with Angie, the kettlebell points slightly laterally away from her. And in my case, it points even more laterally away from me. So what that does is that weight will hang on your elbow, on your bony structures, and therefore you don't need any muscular support when you're in the top fixation. And that's how the sport athletes manage to crank out that many reps, because they don't get tired in the forearm or in the arm in general. Because when you're in the top fixation, you're actually able to relax, but you have to earn that relaxation. That's where Fitbrit is totally right on that one. And you have to really drill down your technique, right? So, brother Jason, YouTube Punk, I hope this answers your question. So, Marilyn O.D. Hello. Oh, got to switch back. Whoop. Wait a second. Boom. So, Marilyn O.D. She says, hello. My question is about thumb down or thumb up in swings. Is there any difference between these two hand positions? And YouTube Punk says, in the past, says his preference. And Mark Wildman says your thumb should be back. So, yeah, my brother Jason, YouTube Punk, he already answered the question. Now, what is happening in the grips? In the orientation, we always call it wrist orientation. So the first thing that you can have is a front orientation. We would call it just front. The second orientation that you can have is transverse or middle, which is used fairly seldom. It's rarely used in kettlebell sport because of the bigger handle, the bigger kettlebell. then you rarely use a transverse grip. I have done so, but then I have to step a little bit broader in a broader, wider stance, and that's not a very good thing for different reasons if you start switching your stance too much. And then you have the back grip. And the funny thing is, it is never a back grip like this where you start a internal rotation fully internally rotated. You never do it. It's just slightly internally rotated where the thumb is pointing back. Now, why am I saying it's preference? It's a couple of reasons. If you have front grip, if you have the front orientation, and you work with a clean, a snatch, or a swing, what happens is you get some form of springy effect in your muscles because the elbow is not able to flex because it's locked, right? This may generate some stretch reflex. And a stretch reflex is a very interesting concept where your muscle creates additional energy if it is flexed and then immediately contracted. And we could say, well, in a clean and a snatch, well, no, it's true. In a swing, in a clean, and in a snatch, you will flex your biceps a little bit once you come out from the backswing phase. So that can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on the person. We had somebody with tendonitis in the elbow, impossible to do. Impossible, because it burns his elbow. So we had to immediately switch to the back grip, right? So another thing, so you see that the front grip works your brachioradialis, your biceps a little bit more. So once you start switching in a transverse grip, which I don't often recommend because the reasons I've just mentioned recently, a few seconds ago, is you work part of your arm and part of your shoulder. Part of your arm, triceps, and shoulder. So what that does is, if you're getting tired with your front orientation, you start switching to transverse to maybe switch the muscles that are engaged. And now in the back, the beautiful thing about the back is your elbow is able to fully flex in the back swing, or just flexes a little bit, which is great if somebody has tendonitis, like in our case. And it allows a little bit more room for the kettlebell to travel backwards. However, what is missing in that case is that springy effect, that stretch reflex. And Angie, for example, she loves front. I love back. So that's why I say it's preference. And another thing where I also think why it is supposed to be preference is, we had one other client. So that's the beauty when you work with people, with real people in real life, the experience. We had somebody, we were doing the simple and sinister style, but we didn't do the hard style swing. We did a hybrid swing. Hybrid swing combined with Turkish get-up, right? And I love that idea. The idea of our simple and sinister and the hybrid style is you do 2 minutes of hybrid swings, and then you do 3 Turkish get up left, 3 Turkish get up right, and you have 1 session and you do 3 or 4. It's a great, it's a different idea of simple and sinister, but it follows the principle of those 2 exercises. So we were doing the back swing, okay, so, the back orientation when we were doing swings. So the next day or 2 days later, or 3 days later, he comes back and says, Gregory, you know what? My shoulder's hurting a little bit. And it hurt to the point where 2 days later, I couldn't even move it. It hurt so much. And the funny thing is, he has some mobility issues in his left shoulder. And even though we work on some of the mobility, I'm not a physiotherapist, so I don't go all out into flexibility and mobility like others do. I just do the surface level stuff, and if somebody needs deeper intervention, then I reference them out, right? But he's a doctor, so he can heal himself and treat himself. Just joking. So then it was like, well, maybe it's the Turkish get-up. And then we were doing the backswing, and then the swings, and then immediately he was like, oh, I feel it again. As he was doing hybrid hand-to-hand swings with a back orientation of the wrist. So then, what did we do? We incorporated front. Come to find out, a few days later, he says, pain is gone. And I believe because of that mobility issue, and we can't pinpoint it, but it's just my guess that because of that mobility issue, the back orientation is not suitable for him. See? So that's why I believe it's preference. I'm giving these very long answers, but I hope you enjoy it. So, let's keep going. Alex said it's an interesting question. I hope, Alex, I was able to help you as well. Marilyn O'D, I hope I was able to serve you with my answer. David Gour says, or Gour, Sorry if I mispronounced your name, brother. Hi, my question is how to improve the hand insertion. I hit a lot on the side of my forearm, making me bruises. David, welcome in the Rainbow Colors Club. When you are a beginner and you start working with kettlebells, forearms come in all different colors. That's why we call them rainbow color forearms. So how do you improve I can show you right here. Wait. So yeah, in that case, it's not as visible. See, but I'm still to talk about the hand insertion. Now, first of all, you have to understand that the hand insertion, the clean, is built into 3 phases, right? It's the backswing, and never forget the triangle, guys. Illuminati confirmed. You know what we mean. It's the meme of the channel, right? So it's backswing, acceleration pull, where you pull the kettlebell from its horizontal trajectory into the vertical. And this is where the magic happens, where you engage in the hand insertion. And then you go into the rest position. So in that moment, it's not very clear to see. But what is important is that the kettlebell, the heavy part of the bell, where its center of mass is, that is the bell itself, points down to the floor, and the handle points towards you, right? Let me show you this in a quick second. So here I am back again. Watch this. So the idea, don't have to worry with headphones. So the idea is when the kettlebell's up, right? You swing it, backswing, acceleration pull. So you pull the bell up. It's supposed to look like this when it's on hip level. And how do you focus on that? By pointing your fingers to the floor and pointing the wrist towards you. And that way, you command the kettlebell to face the floor, the heavy part of the bell, facing the floor and the handle facing towards you. Because what your finger does and what your wrist does, this is what the kettlebell's doing, right? So it's up and then boom. And let me switch back to the big, I forgot, still in the reaction. So you switch. From that position, you just slide in. And that's the secret. Grabbing it in the finger grip, not in the crush grip, not like this. Grabbing it loosely in the finger grip, in the bottom corner of the handle. And then once it's up here on hip level, I just slide in. And then I can rack it, right? That's the beauty of the hand insertion. And let me tell you, brother, it takes a long time to master this technique. I hope I was able to serve you. So, Renaud Gagne says, question, how long should I keep the exact same routine? Example, 2-minute swing, 2-minute overhead press or squat or whatever, and 2-minute goblet squat. Well, it depends. Like I mentioned before, what I love about the 2 minutes is it gives you a great volume, a great general volume. And what we do in our workouts is we just switch the exercises. That's it. But we keep working with the 2 minutes. And there's a lot of, it's out of the scope of this video to now dive into progression. Because if we dive into progression, then I'll be here for 2 hours. But it depends on what your goal is. If you're like, okay, I just love the idea, 3 exercises for 2 minutes, that gives me enough volume. Now I need more progression. Maybe use heavier weights, work for longer time or whatever, or decrease the rest. Or go faster, then you can also say, okay, now, like Matt asked the question, hey, now today I'm just doing a 5-minute swing and 10 minutes clean and jerk. And then you got a 15-minute workout with a 2-minute break in between. Then you got 17 minutes of work. If you do some warm-up and some cool-down, then you come up to 20 minutes. Okay, and that's an important point, guys. Don't overcomplicate that stuff. I keep getting messages on the regular on Instagram where people ask me, is it okay? Is it allowed? I do understand that you want my advice, and I'm incredibly grateful for it. And I love talking about it, as you might have noticed. I love sharing the knowledge. I love the passion of kettlebells, and I love to share it with you. However, you don't need no permission Okay? You just need a basic understanding. For example, now you have a great workout scheme. 3 exercises for 2 minutes. Now just flip out the exercises. And depending on the goal you're having, you can maybe switch things up. And what I can tell you, and that's one of the reasons why I believe in a hybrid style, is it gives you more muscle mass. I have to, maybe some kettlebell sport guys won't really be happy when they hear me say this, but I believe the hard style gives you more muscle and a little bit, it's like maybe a couple of ounces more strength. That's just my opinion, and it's my experience as well. And I've built more muscle, more quality muscle, since I've started swinging heavy with the 48. Okay? So that's why I believe hardstyle kettlebell sport, the combo is so beautiful. So, folks saying hello to everybody. Tyler in the house. What's going on, brother? Okay, Kitch. Overtraining in kettlebells. Heavy versus speed. Few days a week for body strength. Okay, a couple of questions, huh? Overtraining in kettlebells almost definitely does exist. And we had one of our clients, he had a great, it's so beautiful how the questions that you guys are asking, I can always give you some experience from working with people. We had a session a few days ago, and he said, Gregory, I think he didn't say he's quitting kettlebells, but he said maybe I have to scale down and go back to my normal training. So I asked why. He said, well, I felt it in my lower back and didn't feel quite comfortable. And that's why the kettlebell, it is a powerful tool, but you have to understand it. If you don't know how to program it, that's why 90 Days of Kettlebells is a good option for you if you don't know how to program it. You find a link in the description with 10% off. Man, I'm a salesman. I love this. I told him if programming is off, then you might run the risk of doing too much for your hip dominant muscles, because the kettlebell is a tool, especially the ballistics, work most of your hips. And I remember what Dennis Vasev told me. He said when you get engaged into the Russian weightlifting system, they have you do back extensions for the first year thousands of times before you even pick up a barbell. And then you pick up a broomstick and learn the technique, because they understand that the lower back is always the weakest link in the chain. So you got to get it strong. And when you start working with the kettlebell, you're probably doing too much because we work ballistically. And when you work with ballistically with the kettlebell, your lower back, your glutes, and your hamstrings, they always have to work in harmony. And now you have to imagine big muscle group, your hamstrings, big muscle group, your glutes, and now here's your smaller muscle group, the lower back. Of course, they'll always feel it the most. So overtraining exists. That's why you have to really work with a great program to really incorporate continuous kettlebell training. I sometimes even feel it, where I'm like, ooh, that was a little bit too much. I feel in my lower back. Now the next workout, I have to reprogram my stuff to accommodate for my body's needs, right? So the second question was heavy versus speed. I believe swinging a 48 kilogram kettlebell will give you speed. Or maybe you're asking, let's put them together. Hardstyle swings, 48 kilo. I always do sets of 10, like my brother Luca told me. So it's 5 sets of 10. That gives me 50 reps with a 48 kilogram kettlebell. And now let's compare this with a snatch where we just recently, Angie and I went all in, balls to the walls, and I think it was 27 RPM with a snatch with a 20 kilo, and Angie was 26, I think, with the 12. And this engages more endurance. So I was burning, my lungs were burning more. And with a hardstyle swing, I would say it's more muscle related and strength wise. So combo of both. Always a great idea. Few days a week for body changes, strength and size. I think most people fare well with 3 days per week. And the reason why I had this conversation with Kat's Kettlebell Dojo. The reason why I don't jump into intricate details with progression and how many times you got to switch up exercises, how many times, how you go for strength, then you go for size, then you go for mass, then you go for endurance. You know why? Most people don't even train 3 times per week. Which is not, I'm not saying this in a condescending manner. And if it came across like this, I want to apologize. It's not my idea. It's not my goal. But most people maybe work out 1 to 2 times a week. So then it doesn't matter. You just do a swing, a squat, and a press, and you're safe. And do that. We had one of our clients, she finished our program in the studio. What she's now doing is she's doing swing, Turkish get up at home. Boom. She's done. So if you want to really get into the details, what Angie and I were now doing is I was switching up the exercises. I was using more grinds, and I was using more a certain type of bodybuilding approach into the workout system that Angie and I are now in, which is always 3 months, because I was aiming for a little bit more gains. But that's, with a kettlebell, it's a little bit different, and maybe takes too much time to really talk about it now. But it is definitely possible. Yet I think for most people it's not feasible, because it's just 1 workout or 2 workouts per week, and we focus on helping beginners. So I believe in most cases you're just safe with the basics, right? I hope this helps, brother. Igor is back. Yeah, Igor is back. You want to have him again? You got to listen to what Igor is saying. Please take his advice. Stravo, my name is of no importance to you. Just know this. I sponsored today's video of Lebe Stark. In the back, you see my friend Igor. We are both hunting for good kettlebell channels. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Lebe Stark YouTube channel. Or else, comrade, we can't consider you to be a true student of the art of kettlebell training. That's what's up. Please listen to Igor. Igor is a good friend. Please listen to him. So we keep going. T-mail, no questions here. Just a shout out from Finland, and thanks for the great content. Best kettlebell channel out there, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you, really appreciate it. Igor's a black belt in kettle jitsu. And YouTube Punk, you mentioned this a lot. Kettlebell jitsu. What's his name? On Instagram, he's called Kettle Jitsu, and he does explicit kettlebell stuff for combat athletes. I really like how he does it, and I believe he incorporates some type of hybrid style in his stuff. And he's an OG. I just forgot his name, but Kettle Jitsu is his name on Instagram, and he's a very cool dude. I saw some of his stuff, and he's very niche focused, and he's been an OG. He's been rocking with kettlebells for ages. Bob Fink, I don't have a question. I say thanks a lot for all you're doing, brother. Thank you so much, man. You guys, I almost start crying. I'll start crying if you keep sending me so much love. Drake approves. Yes, he does. Carl Choromansky. Hi, Gregory. Greetings from South Africa. Sending you love, Bragg from Switzerland. Thanks for the awesome channel and videos. My local kettlebell gym closed down during the lockdown. I struggle to find any decent kettlebell content online, especially for kettlebell sports style giveaway. We call it fluid motion. Brother, check out really the hybrid style class, the hybrid style master class, brother. If you're really looking for something to dig deep into kettlebell sport giveaway, hard style, and what we now call the hybrid, then check out, the link is still in the description. It's not pinned, but you really got to check out the link where you can subscribe to our newsletter to see when the course releases. And another thing that I want to tell you, Carl, if you're still rocking, in Switzerland, we had to shut down things as well. You know what we did? We went outside. Problem solved. I don't know how fierce the lockdown is in South Africa right now. And Luca had a pretty fierce lockdown in Canada, and they went outside. Ask the gym owners. Tell them, hey, why don't we just pack a few kettlebells and do the workouts outside? That's what we did. Tyler, I didn't time my purchase very well. Brother, no worries. I was like, maybe when I release this info, then people will be like, well, I bought 90 days of kettlebells. But like I said, you get the 20% off. And another thing that I'm really planning on that I didn't mention, that I'm planning in the Kettlebell Hybrid Masterclass, in the Kettlebell Hybrid Style Masterclass, is the following. I want to do live lectures. Yes, you heard me right. Live lectures in our online course dedicated to the inner circle, where maybe I have it once a month dedicated for those folks who really want to take things to the next level, share stuff with you guys, and have a conversation via Zoom where you can talk to me and we can have a great conversation and discussion about kettlebell stuff and taking all of your questions. That's an idea that I will probably incorporate into the Kettlebell Hybrid Style Master Class. It's going to be an awesome course, guys. It's a lot of work, but I promise you it will be worth it. I even promise this to myself. It's going to be worth it. So, Renaud Gagne, shut up and take my money. Thank you, brother. I love you guys. Russian King, thanks for the great content. I just did my first kettlebell workout today. Guys, give him an applause. My brother, Russian King. Your first kettlebell workout. Let us know in the chat. How did it feel? Hautak Leighton Tam. I hope I pronounced your name right. If I didn't, I apologize. Is there a maximum weight limit for kettlebells, or can you go as heavy as possible if you have good form? That's a very great question. When you, for example, check out Chandler Marchman, my brother Chandler, he's lifting fairly heavy weights. I think 32s and 28s. That's his basic go-to stuff. And then I believe he even has heavier weights. And he recently did a great video about power band resisted kettlebell swings. Sometimes my German swaps in. Resistance bands, kettlebell swings with resistance bands, right? And he always got those great strength building ideas. And then you have the dude, Mavericks Fieldhouse, which is a freaking tank who just strict presses a 32 like it's a 12 kilogram. A real beast. You got to check him out. And then you have folks like Rhino Strength, who I don't know, man. This is when I look at these guys, Chandler, Rhino, and Mavericks Fieldhouse. I'm a lightweight dude. I have to have a very strong personality and a very strong self-confidence to not feel like a wimp next to these guys. These guys are beasts. So, and what I recently saw is that a cast iron kettlebell goes up to 92 kilograms. Now, if you are a tank like these three gentlemen that I've just mentioned, then it makes sense to use even heavier weights. At the same time, I want to point out that probably most people don't have the strongman genetics like these three guys do, so maybe they don't need to go up as heavy to a 92 kilogram kettlebell. But one thing is for sure, if you always have a safe form, you can go heavier. Although I want to point out something that Chandler Marchman taught me. He said it in a very simple phrase that I want to quote him now. He said, when you go for a PR, right, a personal record, I did a video on the Turkish get-up that I failed with a 40 kilo on the left side, but then I managed to succeed with the right side. 40 kilo. I'm a lightweight dude. I'm 70 kilo body weight. I'm not that strong. So I did it, and then we talked about it, and he said, you know, a PR doesn't have to have perfect form. It just has to be a good lift. And I like this idea. Perfect form sometimes gives in a little bit when you work with incredibly heavy weights and when you go for a PR. Now the question is risk to benefit ratio. How much do I get out of this PR and how much do I have to leave on the table and how much do I have to risk? I would say 95% of all people don't need PRs, but it's fun. It's fun to engage in it, and if you're safe, strong, and have awesome technique, go for it. But always make sure you have a spotter around. I hope this answers your question, brother. Pablo Andrade, would you invite Mark Waldman Mark Wildman to a podcast? Of course I would. I've got his name's popping up on our YouTube channel many times, which is of course is normal because we serve a similar audience. And of course I would be open. Yet there's one thing that I want you to understand. I always selectively target folks who don't have that big of a following. And the reason why Ramsey Dewey with 150,000 subscribers is now on our podcast is because he reacted to one of my reactions. So he did an inception, but he just commented on our YouTube channel. So and I got to tell you that story. It's funny. I got to tell you the story with Ramsey. And if you don't know him, he's an MMA coach. So I have this great story. I don't even know him yet, but I also have a great story to share. Check this out. So I did a reaction on Ramsey. So he commented. He was like, "Wow, that's awesome. Thank you very much, blah, 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 blah." Because I gave some feedback on his form. And then I commented in the chat, in the comments. I replied. I was like, "Brother, can I get you on a podcast?" And so that's where I want to tie my statement to what I said earlier is if somebody reacts to our stuff, then I mostly want to engage. And mostly everybody that's on the podcast with me has reacted to what I'm doing. So that shows me that they're somehow interested, so we can have a great conversation together, that, you know, that the vibes are strong and stuff. So with Ramsey, he didn't reply, right? So he didn't reply back. So I caught him live. He was live. And then I gave him a $5 donation. And I said, "Ramsey, you got to show up on our podcast." So he read that. He was live and he read that. He was like, "Oh, that's Lebe Stark. It's a very great YouTube channel. And you got to check him out. And he asked for the podcast. Send me an email to my blah, 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 blah." So I sent him an email. And I didn't get no reply. And I told myself, because I waited like 2 to 3 weeks. And then I sent another email. But man, the guy's busy. Of course, he's a coach. He's a successful coach. So people are busy. And I know this. So what I did is I told myself, if I catch Ramsey again live, then I'll give him another donation. Then what happened? That's like 2 weeks ago. I caught him live again. I was like, "Hey, Ramsey, we still got that stuff. I still want you on that podcast." And he was like, "Oh, that guy from Lebe Stark, he's at it again. Now, I got to answer." And then he agreed to do the podcast. So that's how it happened. But of course, if Mark was in, of course I'd have him on the podcast. It's all about bringing the world together. I know some people had some quarrels with me because I reacted to him and gave some critical feedback. And but that's totally fine. Doesn't mean, and that's very important, guys. I really want you to dig this. When you listen to kettlebell experts, most of the time, I believe the cream of the crop sits in the top of a pyramid. The triangle, here it comes again, sits in the top of the pyramid, right? So we all have similar ideas and we say similar stuff. Yet, it may be that somebody says something that another person doesn't agree with. Does not mean that we cannot have a conversation. The only thing that I'm interested in is a dialogue instead of a debate. I heard this recently. Somebody said this. I'm always interested in dialogue. I'm not interested in debating. Let's keep going. Public Morozov, how do you adjust training with cold or soft flu? Oh, that's a very great question. And again, I can give you my experience. When I caught the thing that's going on right now in the world, the crisis mode, when I caught that in November 2020, I was flat. I was flatline. So what I did is I gave my body time to recuperate and regenerate and recover. And then I think on the second day, I did a workout with the lightest increment that I'm used to. And that is 16 kilo in my case. And let me tell you, the 16 kilo was really heavy. But I felt like if you know your body well, then you can always engage in it. You're like, okay, I understand my body. I feel my body. I know the signals. So now it's maybe too early, but maybe 2 or 3 days later, I engage in a workout. So that's what you can do. Engage in a small workout if you feel like it, but don't drain your body's energy too harshly because you want your body to recuperate and to recover. And for that, the body needs energy. Karl Chawansky, please, can you help with rack rest position? I struggle when working with doubles. Oh my God. I jump a little bit too much. Russian King, any suggestions on warm-ups before starting your workout? Yes, we have a great warm-up for beginners and advanced on our YouTube channel. Just check out our YouTube channel and type in warm-up, or type in warm-up Lebe Stark, and then it should pop up automatically. Here we go. Carl, please can you help me with the rack rest position? I struggle when working with doubles. Well, with doubles, my guys, let me tell you, with doubles, it's a completely new world. So I'm just giving you a few hints. When you clean both kettlebells into the rack rest position, if you have competitions, and we only work with competitions, right? Doesn't mean that cast iron is bad or that they're bad kettlebells. I just recommend comps because they're always same size and different weights, yet different weights. So you don't have to adjust your technique or grip or whatever. So when you come from the back swing, all right, you're cleaning the kettlebell up. You always want to imagine one bell comes first. You put one bell over the other. In my case, the left side comes a split second earlier, and then the right side. That's why you always hear the clanking. And I love that sound. It's like when you pull. Do you love that sound as well? When you pull a plate from a barbell, that noise, I love it. It's just like the clanking with the kettlebells. I just love it. So you come up, boom. One arm comes first, the other one comes last. And then it's the rack rest position. You need to have a lot of shoulder mobility so you can reach down with your elbow down to your hip. You want to look for the iliac crest. It's that sharp part of your hip that you feel when you reach towards it. You want to connect with that part. You need a lot of, like I mentioned, great shoulder mobility. You have to keep your knees locked and make sure you shove your arms forward so that the kettlebell, the gravitational pull of the kettlebell is in front of the hip and in front of the knee so you can bypass your lower back. I don't know how much that serves you. Doubles is, man, I'm doing videos about it. That's why you got to check out the Kettlebell Hybrid Style Masterclass. Ha 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 ha. It's awesome. I love doubles, man. Tyler, it's going to be awesome. It is, man. Oh, man. I am now realizing that you guys are commenting like crazy. And I've been streaming like for 1 hour. Oh, my God. How am I going to... How am I going to serve this? Okay, I got to go rapid fire. Rapid fire mode. Rapid fire. Ready? Boom, boom. Give me a second. Bam. Here I am. I'd like to suggest you to get Mavericks Fieldhouse as a guest on your podcast. Jason, I thought about it. I will. Danny Calais, I have hip pain when I do windmills. What am I doing wrong? Also, my hip makes a popping noise sometimes when I do the windmill. Leave the windmill out. Don't do it. You have to engage in a proper side hinge. If you don't know how a side hinge works, I have a video on the channel where we focus on the Turkish get-up. If you don't do the side hinge properly, you will always bend your lower back. Refrain from the windmill until you understand the side hinge, perfect it, maybe with a coach, and then you get back at it. Until then, scrap that exercise. Is the podcast going to be on YouTube or somewhere else? It's always going to be on YouTube, Alex, and it's also on, man, I get these questions so many times. It's also on our course on 90 Days of Kettlebells. When you purchase 90 Days of Kettlebells, you always get the podcasts in there ad-free, and you can download the audio. However, if maybe one day Spotify shows up and asks me, hey, Gregory, we give you $100 million, would you be Spotify exclusive? Then maybe I'll think about it. Okay. Love you, my brother from another brother. Yeah, gotta keep going. Encyclopedia. There you go. Encyclopedia. Here we go. Can you body recomp with kettlebells alone? Just eat your daily BMR and lose weight and recomp? Of course you can. Of course you can. With kettlebells alone, you can, of course, do body recompositioning. The only difference maybe is with muscle building, where the dumbbell and machines they are stronger when it comes to muscle building. They have more leverage in that case. However, with the kettlebell, I would say what the kettlebell gives a lot of leeway. Then again, another side of leverage is you probably burn more calories with an intense and a very safe kettlebell workout. So, and body recomposition is most of the time just working on your nutrition and achieving a slight calorie deficit that is manageable for you, and then cranking out those workouts that don't kill you with enough rest and recuperation, and then you will be able to do it. 100 lessons, my brother. Yes, it is. Unser Tanley. Hey, Gregory, I have a question. How do you program for long-term kettlebell use and performance? Is there a preferable method of periodization? Thank you for everything you do. Thank you, brother. How do you program for long-term kettlebell use and performance? That's a very great question. In my case, I switch every 12 weeks. And when I switch every 12 weeks, because I can't give you an exact feedback from our clients, because most of them are beginners and most of them just need just one proper workout. But what I do with some of the more advanced clients is we switch from time to time from doubles and then, more grinds and some more ballistics. And depending on the technique that we want to work on, depending on the client, this can differ as well. But like I do it, I'll give you my example, 12 weeks. And then I take a full week off. Okay? Full week, 1 week, no workouts, no nothing. Just recuperation, black rolling, and relaxing, mobilizing, and giving my body time to catch up with the work that I was putting in. So when it comes to, that's long-term kettlebell use, okay? Always make sure you have a great break. Always make sure you have great programming. If you have too much ballistics, too much hip dominant stuff, maybe your lower back gives out, you'll feel it, and then you have to rest or you injure yourself. So that's a critical point. Then performance. With performance, I'm probably not the best guy to talk to. When it comes to kettlebell sport, I see how these guys do it. They do a lot of GPP. They do a lot of, squats, deadlifts with barbells. They do a lot of cardio work. I see Dennis doing a lot of rowing and doing dips. And they do a lot of GPP. And then they perfect the technique. And then I think they work exclusively with certain weights for a given period of time, for a given period of reps, and they aim for a certain RPM. Then they upgrade the weights. So it's a very complex system. So when it comes to periodization in kettlebell sport, you want to talk to Dennis Vasilev or FitBrit, Brittany van Schravendijk. I think they are the better coaches that can help you when it comes to performing best in kettlebell sport. And other performances, when it comes to performance just otherwise, when kettlebell is your GPP tool, then I think you have to just combine some heavy grinds with some great ballistic form, and then you get the most bang for your buck. Some great ballistic exercises with great form. Then you get endurance, you get the flexibility, you get the strength, you get the explosiveness. It's low impact on your joints. Then you get that great what the hell effect that so many people are talking about when it comes to kettlebells. I hope that helps, brother. What do you mean? Okay. I love the idea of the learning physiology of things and the interactive aspect of the quizzes. Yes, Alex. Listen, the idea when you learn stuff, you have text in that course that I'm building. You have text, you have video, you have audio, you have downloadable PDF, you have quizzes, and you have stuff where you have to get up, film yourself, go to your PC, upload it, and send it to us. So it's the learning experience goes through all different angles, eyes, ears, and even mouth, and then, of course, the movement patterns. So that's where just my experience, and I hear it from other super learners as well. They say it's a great thing when you, for example, listen to a podcast or listen to an audiobook and read it at the same time, because then your brain can process the information even better because you choose two routes to process information. So that's the reason why I'm engaging in that idea. Keeping going, blah, blah, blah. I think it's an online course. Yeah, uncertainly, this is an online course. It's not a book. It's an online course. And the beautiful thing about an online course is I can update it regularly. That's what they do with books. First edition, second edition, third edition. What I do is update the course. So, I need to catch a Smith for my forearms, yes. They sell some pads online. I just felt immediately like a puss just considering them. Now, when it comes to gear, okay, protecting your forearms, guys, let me tell you one thing. It is a solid thing to protect your forearms with gloves or with those wristbands. When is it applicable? I believe there's one situation where it is applicable, and that is when you are working on your technique. You're cleaning, you're cleaning, you're cleaning, okay? Then the next workout happens and your forearm's still burning and it hurts because your soft tissues have to adapt, right? So it still hurts. So what you do is you go grab some gloves or some pads. We have some pads with some additional cushioning effect. So you can work the next day maybe on your presses, because when you work with a kettlebell and racket, it's always on your forearm. And maybe the cleaning the kettlebell has really triggered your forearms that much that they're so sensible that you can't even rack a kettlebell. And in that case, it makes sense to use a wristband. But then as soon as your forearm's safe again, you ditch the wristband and then you go after it again. We had one of our clients who continuously worked out with wristbands. And I told him, the problem if you always use wristbands is you always slam the bell with no repercussions. You never feel it. So you have no incentive to improve your technique because it's always allowed to slam and crash. And then he was like, okay, maybe I gotta take them off, right? So there's time and place for everything. It's toolboxes, guys, toolboxes. Yeah, it's 120 days with kettlebell. Some random person, hi Gregory, for 2 months, I've been only doing kettlebell swings, which has already dramatically strengthened my hamstrings and reduced injuries. Wow. How far can only doing kettlebell swings take me? Well, if you listen to Tracy Reifkind, that's, I think, Mark Reifkind's wife, and Riff, I think they call him Riff, or Riffkind. Riff, right? Pretty solid instructors and I think elite on master coaches in Strong First. They know their stuff. And I think Tracy, she has, yeah, I'm sure. She advocates doing swings only. And I believe swings can take you very far. Very far. However, and this comes from a basic dude, doing swings only might get a little boring over time. I do understand because it's always the same motion. Doesn't mean that you cannot perfect it. Crank those reps out because that's how you perfect the technique. However, what it's maybe lacking, in my opinion, is overhead movements. Right? So if you're swinging all the time, it may be that you also increase your flexibility and mobility, but I will also make sure that you go into, right, overhead stuff. So that's what I would add to it. So, I'm taking a short break. Oh, Angie has arrived. The best woman that is next to me, she has arrived. So when she arrives, that means I got to step it up. I got to go a little faster. But give me a short break, guys, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, guys. But before I jump into the last portion of the stream and go rapid fire on your questions, and I've asked Angie, maybe she can support me and help me answer some of your questions, guys. You gotta listen to my friend Igor. Stravo, my name is of no importance to you. Just know this. I sponsored today's video of Lebe Stark. In the back you see my friend Igor. We are both hunting for good kettlebell channels. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Lebe Stark YouTube channel. Or else, comrade, we can't consider you to be a true student of the art of kettlebell training. That's what's up, my friend Igor. Now guys, before I continue, please let me know in the chat. We have 43 people still rocking in the chat, right? 43 people still rocking. Please let me know. Should we do these live Q&As on a regular basis? Type yes in the chat if you think so. Should we do the live Q&A sessions on a regular basis where I take out, let's say, like 10 questions and go deep on those questions? Because I see another channel do it as well. So let me know in the comments if you want to have this as a regular piece of content on our channel. But make sure you like and subscribe first. So, rapid fire. Julian, I have trouble with, I'll try this in my knees. I've noticed how far down you get in your squat. Is there anything I can do to get my squat deeper? Yes, you can work on your flexibility, and you can work on your mobility, especially ankle mobility. However, there's one thing that you have to understand, and that is some hips are not built to go as deep. We have had a few clients who will never be able to go as deep as Angie and I are able to go deep, okay? That's maybe a question of your pelvis, and that's totally fine. If you're not able to go as deep, we even have one client, it's not a client, oh, he is a client. We even have one client. He's not able to even do a proper goblet squat, so he does back squats. I have the same questions. Can I recommend, as Jitsu, can I recommend recomp with kettlebells? Yep, question was answered, I think. I use bionic kettlebells for 40 pounds and less. I have an iron kettlebell that is 50 pounds. It's the heavy they sell at Academy. The soft bells from, okay. Gotta go fast. I give in the free Republic of Texas. Everything is normal. Move to Texas if you love freedom. Amen, brother. Switzerland's also nice. Where we at? Man. Where we at? Any idea? Any idea where I can get some original Russian competition kettlebells? They seem to be sold out everywhere. Most of the time they are. Make sure you check out megafitness.shop. That's a great address. Kettlebell Kings has great stuff. Wolferson has great stuff. And as far as I'm concerned, there's another brand, SoCal Kettlebells. I think they're doing great stuff as well. I'm not sure about the comps, but check them out. Where we at? Why are you guys saying go Matt? Go Matt. Go Matt. Illuminati confirmed. Yes. Jesse. Hey man. Hope I'm not late to the party. I've been running double 70s clean and press 10 times 4 3 days. Oof. I want to add squats to this. What's better? Double front squat with 70s or goblet squat with man. You're a tank, brother. Double squat with 10 or goblet. If you rack those heavy bells up and you go down into a squat, it's going to be tough on your arms. But the goblet squat, a heavy goblet squat up here is also going to be tough. So, I mean, if you use both 70s, then you got 140 pounds, right? Try it. See what works best. But even though the 140, you seem like a strong dude, but be careful with 140 pounds on your front, right? Because with the front squat, you're never as strong as with a back squat. Which one is the best class or certification for teaching kettlebells? IKFF or Strong First? RKC as well? IKFF is just my experience. And Strong First, what I've learned from Luca, he's the man. And RKC, I think Dan John still gives RKC courses. So there you go. Shoot, I need more post-it notes now. Hawken, height shouldn't dictate the weight of your bell. Strength, exercise, and form is a better metric of what size you should be using. Height shouldn't dictate the weight of your bell. Maybe Hawken, he was probably answering somebody else. Don't think Greg is offering certs yet. Yes, IKFF is killer. Like I said, YouTube Punk. Moritz Schäfer, hey Gregory. Which grip should I use? The acceleration pull or the snatch? When it comes to the fingers, you have it in the finger grip, and then you switch it to the hand insertion. Always make sure you got it in the finger grip so you can have a nice hook grip at the end of in the hand insertion. And orientation, it's front, okay? But I sometimes use the back orientation of the wrist when I come up, and then I switch it on top. I was wondering if there's any difference in progress between 3D train. I gotta talk slow. Chat's going fast. I was wondering if if there's any difference in progress between training 3 times a week and training every day. Yeah, diminishing returns. I think training every day is a problem when it comes to recovery for most people. And when you see athletes train every day, they never go all in like most of the times we do, right? Athletes many times work on skills. That's why they're able to train as much. And they're also different kinds of breed, right? But every day, I don't think that you get any benefit out of it compared to a great programming that gives you a lot of bang for your buck on 3 to 4 days a week. Hello from Michigan. Quick question. Goblet squats. I do my best to keep my back straight and going low in a squat. However, I either fall back or knees go over toes a little. Knees go over toes, totally fine. That's an old myth that some people still believe because it's taught like this. Your knees are allowed to go over your toes. There's a channel that's even called Knees Over Toes Guy. So don't worry about this. And like I mentioned before, sometimes it's ankle mobility. Sometimes it's the inner muscles of your thighs are too tight and they pull everything in. In a goblet squat, you want to push them out. And when it comes to the upright position, you need some strength in your hamstrings to really be able to hold the torso upright. And you also need abdominal strength and upper body strength in your back, right? In the erector spinae muscle group. So don't worry about those knees over toes. Keep working on it. But realize if your body is telling you that it doesn't like this deep squat position. Because as I want to refer back to that other client, he said, I don't like the front squat. I don't like being in that position. So that's maybe your body telling you that your hip or your femurs are not built for a perfect goblet squat or for a perfect front squat. Yeah, you guys are answering as well. That's awesome. Hey, Gregory, really enjoy your content. Do you have a game plan strategy for recommending to nail the SNS snatch test? 200. Let me tell you guys, 200 snatches with 24 kilo in 10 minutes, that's a tough one. And the way I would approach it is, I think you're allowed to use the kettlebell sports snatch as far as I'm concerned. I would work on my kettlebell sports snatch. That's the first thing. I would do 2 things. Work on my kettlebell sports snatch and build some mass. Maybe eat a little more so that you have more energy. So, because when you're very lean, that's what I'm seeing. When you're very lean, you lose some strength. So make sure you eat well, but maybe a little bit more so you build some solid mass and then work on those snatches. Work on those snatches and incorporate the kettlebell sports snatch if you can. Learn it, perfect it, and you're safe. What kettlebell brand is worth to be bought? I would say, like I said, megafitness.shop, Kettlebell Kings, Wolverson. Great stuff. Always do mobilization stretching. Yes. So cool, guys, that you guys are helping out each other. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. You really appreciate it, Deanna. You're welcome. It's awesome that the community was helping you out. Awesome. Hiba Belimi, thank you for everything you do. We don't have kettlebell coaches here in Algeria. Any tips to learn the ballistics alone? For the moment, I only do swings and you're safe. Perfect the swing and then slowly start incorporating the clean and jerk. Perfect the swing, work on it, make sure your grip is loose, that you're really able to float with the kettlebell, to really get in the pendulum mode. Doesn't matter, especially if you use the hybrid swing or the kettlebell sports swing. Hardstyle swing is a little bit different. Make sure you perfect the swing, or maybe perfect all three types of swings, kettlebell sport, hybrid, and hardstyle, and then work your way up to the clean. That's the next ballistic exercise that you want to learn. We have a great class that is coming up, a master class, hybrid style master class. You'll find a link in the description. I'll post it later in the chat so you guys can really sign up and see when the course goes live, or check out a video. I have a great video about the clean and jerk, clean and press, and there we can help you as well. But perfect your swing and then work your way up to the clean. Kisses from Brazil, Leandro, showing you love. Thank you. Got a new kettlebell delivered today. It's one of those competition kettlebells with, oh, you got a comp with too small of a handle. This happens. And I've heard it from other coaches as well. This happens in those charges that they do. In those different batches. Batches is the word in English. Those batches that they do, sometimes they have smaller handles. We have seen this now 2 times with the kettlebells that we own. That's a bummer. But maybe contact your supplier and tell them, hey, the handle's not the right one and it's a bad batch. You want a better one. Do it. Kettlebells are improving my golf swing. Awesome. It's similar in that the golf swing should be driven by the core and legs and not dominated by the arms. Yeah. And I was talking to a client. We were talking about weaponry, handling a gun and the triggering, where you don't have to really use a lot of tension. You have to be loose. That's the feeling that the kettlebell also provides you. That's good stuff, man. Sebastian, hast du Erfahrung mit Impfen? We don't talk about that stuff right here, Sebastian. That's not the right channel to do because it's such a hot topic. He was asking about vaccination. We're not talking about this stuff because it's way too of a hot topic. We stick to kettlebells. But other than that, liebe Grüße, Sebastian, nach Deutschland. Schön bist du dabei. Peter Boberg, thanks for the great content. My kettlebell routine has changed for the better. I'm finally feeling ready to up the weight from my 16 kilogram kettlebell. What size up do you recommend? Peter, jump up to the 20 if you're safe. There are other versions. There are 20s, from the 16, there's 18, 20, 22, 24 as well, the 2 kilogram jumps. However, the 2 kilogram jumps I would only recommend if you are in a competition, if you aim for competitions and you need those small increments. Other than that, work with the 4 kilogram jump. Daniel, can you body wheel with kettlebells? Yes, but it's not going to be as efficient. Bro, I know you heard me. Wait a second. Yeah, we always have, Angie's doing some great moderation. We always have some funny folks in the chat. That's normal. John, I find it really difficult to go up in a weight for snatches. I go up to 26 kilogram. My grip in one hand just isn't able. 26. You know, when you go heavy with the snatch, let me tell you, I think I've mastered the 20. The 24 is giving me a lot of hard work to do, a lot of hassle, but just medium, I would say, modest hassle. And the 28 and the 32 is nuts for me. But like I mentioned, I'm also a lightweight dude. So maybe to a certain extent, depending on your build and depending on your technique, it may be that the heavier weights are just not made for everybody. And what Dennis Vazilev told me, he said, in kettlebell sport, professional weights for the guys start after 24. So you're in professional division right there. So unless your technique is incredibly safe and you're strong and you aim for competitions, maybe you don't even need to go up that weight ladder. Do you ever do two-hand bell swings? No, I do cleans. I love cleans. Going fast a little bit in the pace. Hi, in your last video, you said that you didn't rate kettlebell curls. I only have kettlebells and use them for curls. They seem okay. What am I missing? And a very easy point to understand. Dan John says, With kettlebells, you can do everything. You can do curls and do them if it makes you happy and you like doing curls with them. But then John said something that I want to mention, that is, just because you can doesn't mean you should. So the reason why I don't think curls are the best way to utilize a kettlebell is because the kettlebell its differentiating factor is different. That's like saying, okay, I do curls with a kettlebell. It's like I eat the steak with a spoon. You'd rather use a fork. You can do the job with a spoon, but it's not the best tool for the job. No matter how many videos I watch on a subject and how much I try not to, I keep beating up my forearms with the kettlebell clean. Yep, we talked about the clean already. Maybe you have to go back a little bit. Can you get a decent body by just doing Turkish get-ups? I would say yes, if your nutrition is tight. Let's see. Do you think switching from 16 to 28? Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot, brother. Darko, that's a lot. Use the 4 kilogram jumps. 16, 20, 24. Jumping from a 16 to 28, depending on what exercise. With a deadlift, of course, it's easy for most. But for if you want to use a kettlebell with all type of movements, with cleans, with snatches, with press, whatever, and overhead movements, then maybe go up to the 20. So I'm going a little bit faster. Thank you for the info. Question, please. As we talk indoors, I still run outdoors 20 minutes and then do a 10-minute kettlebell routine, mostly one-hand swings. If that's okay, that's great. What you can also do is grab your kettlebell and go around the block, or go to the place where you want to work out to, grab it and walk with it. Then you get a farmer's walk. Then you place down the kettlebell, do a couple of swings, then you run a little bit, come back, do a couple of swings, run a little bit, come back, do a couple of swings, then you grab the kettlebell and you walk home and you're safe. So, thanks a lot for answering my question. You're welcome, brother. Good video. Thank you for the Dan John. You're welcome, Colin. Nice channel. My question is, it seems like kettlebell lifters, a Sonda Sport Kettlebell Club. My question is, it seems like kettlebell lifters don't squat often. Fitness and kettlebell sport alike. Also not much squatting in comps. Any theories why? When it comes to competitions, you only have snatch, jerk, long cycle. When you opt in for a kettlebell competition, you either do a snatch, a long cycle, or a jerk. It's these 3 exercises. And the kettlebell lifters, they do squats. However, they use them as a GPP. So GPP means it is the additional exercises that they do, and they incorporate them into their training regime. So that's why you don't see them at the competitions, and they do it, but not as often as, for example, folks like us who don't need to go to competitions, who do squats for other reasons as well. So, wow, I think I'm through. Yeah, Angel's helping out. Love you, baby. Yes. You guys are saying yes. Awesome. Love you guys. Yeah, only limited questions for 1 hour rapid fire. Great idea. 10 questions. We're going to set this up, guys. The next time I'm live with the Q&As, 10 questions. And you got to put the question in the chat, and then we work those questions through. That's awesome. We're going to do it. Thank you all for the advice. You're welcome, brother. I'm going fast. Should the shoulder press go straight up or move outside the way up? Depends. There's a press that's called a scaption press, where you elevate, where you really want to use most of your shoulder blade. You go outside into the frontal plane, right? Outside, and then you press it up. That's a scaption press. And I got this from Mike Salemi. And the other press that we mostly do is we connect 2 dots with the shortest distance, which is a straight line. So then we go up straight. What you never want to do is press weights up like this, where the elbow flares up and the kettlebell is on your forearm, and that's not a proper way to press. So, Gregory for kettlebell president. I love you, baby. Hey, here we had this question. Kettlebells for president. Kettlebells 2024. Make America swing again. That's what's up. Quite the charismatic leader. He has my vote. Yeah, the kettlebell has your vote, guys. Okay. Great. I think I am through. Yeah. Isaac. Wait. Where's Isaac? Lack of motion is messing with me. Rolled my ankle 5 weeks into the grade 1-2 sprain. Oh, that's sad to hear, brother. But you'll get back. Give your body enough rest and recuperation. And don't worry, you got lifetime access. So the course is not running away. Make sure you recuperate, recover, and then you get back at it again. And it's going to be done in no time. And then maybe you can go back to this experience on what happened in the ankle sprain and maybe use what happened back then as a lesson, incorporate it in your safety regimes to make sure this does not happen again. Okay? So guys, wow. You could have been up all night with these questions. Yes. Yes, you guys, I love you guys. I've done kettlebells 4 times and injured myself on 2 of those occasions. Belotti. Wow. That's why you see programming is so incredibly important. That's why I started with 90 days of kettlebells. Because in 90 days of kettlebells in the first week, you just do the proper basics, just some easy stuff. If you see us engage in our kettlebell workouts and you see us go nuts with the ballistics and it looks like, woo, that's way too much for me now. It's probably your body's giving you the right signal. It's like maybe too heavy right now, maybe too much. Then scale it back and start some easy stuff. Always start easy first, okay? I didn't start with a snatch. In fact, the snatch was the last exercise I've tried to master. And after the snatch was doubles. And I'm still working on my jerk. And let me tell you, I've watched the video from Denis Vasilev and he said, the moment, the synchronicity, okay, achieving the synchronicity between fully extended elbows and bent hip and knee joints in the second dip in the jerk will take an athlete's lifetime to master. Okay? So if the king of kettlebell technique, of kettlebell sport, is saying this, then we can all abide by it. So, no questions, but cheers from Sydney. Guys, I think we are done. I want to send you the link once again before we're finished and let you know once again, if you have been with me now, that we have 90 days of kettlebells. That's one link that you find in the description. 10%. Let me show it to you. That's what you have right now. You have 10% off 90 days of kettlebells. As soon as I'm done, these 10% are gone. So the link is in the description in the chat right now. You can use it. It's attached to it. What will happen is you have to create an account and then you can complete your purchase and it'll be $87.30 with a 10% attached to it. That's 90 days of kettlebells. That's the workout course for you if you really want to dig deep into kettlebells and you want to have a great workout course that accompanies you, because you have seen it now in the comments that somebody hurt themselves or hurt himself or herself by doing kettlebells, maybe doing it the wrong way or not the proper way, and that's what may happen, okay? So that's what I want to help you with. 90 Days of Kettlebells is a great beginner's course, and that's what's up, guys. And the second thing that I want to share as the final thing, let me share this as the final thing. If you are interested in our hybrid style masterclass seminar, I will post it in the chat right now. Use this link, guys, it's in there. Use this link to get a hold of the course once it's live. This will be the deep dive of our hybrid style masterclass. It's going to take you a deep dive. Theory, swing, clean and jerk, snatch, doubles, grinding lifts. Over 100 lessons in that course. It's going to be a beast. Takes me about a month to release that course. So, thank you very much for joining, man. It's so awesome. So awesome. So awesome to have you guys rocking with me. So the next time we are live, we are going to do what has been asked. And that is going for 10 questions, shoot them, and make a 1-hour stream, because now I'm almost 2 hours live now. And now I'm done. So guys, thank you very much for joining. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out. Welcome to 90 Days of Kettlebells. 90 Days of Kettlebells is a kettlebell workout program that combines kettlebell training with simple and easy to follow nutrition coaching. It is designed for beginners who want to train with kettlebells, profit from a proven nutrition coaching system to get in shape and lose weight. This program is made for you if you are a responsible and diligent person who wants to discover the potential of the kettlebell and improve your eating habits to lose weight, get in shape, and become a lean, mean machine. This program is not for people who are looking for the magic bullet, an easy way out, a cookie cutter meal plan system, or a genie in the bottle. This program requires some diligent and hard work, and it's made for you if you are ready for it. We combine the best of both worlds in this program. The kettlebell, with its vast array of benefits that range from fat burning to muscle building while being easy on the joints, and scientific-based nutrition coaching that helps you build new eating habits that help you make better decisions, even after the expert left the room. We have been certified by kettlebell legend Steve Cotter himself personally in our gym in both the IKFF Kettlebell Coach certificates. We have also been certified by the world-leading and scientifically based nutrition experts Precision Nutrition as a level 1 and level 2 nutrition coach. This is actually what we do with our clients in real life on a daily basis. All the experience from the last 5 years that we have been able to gather is now put into this course. Now the program works as follows. You will do 3 kettlebell workouts per week designed for beginners in mind that gradually increase in difficulty. You will build 3 powerful eating habits that have proven successful in our nutrition coaching. The program lasts 12 weeks and will teach you the ins and outs of kettlebell training as well as building powerful nutrition habits. All this is accessible in our revolutionary e-learning platform that is part of the Lebe Stark Academy. In the bonus content, you will get access to 30 days of kettlebells. That's actually another full-blown workout course. This is actually also the predecessor of 90 days of kettlebells. You will get 5 additional workouts, a 3.5-hour seminar with Steve Cotter where he certified us in June 2019, and this seminar alone is worth over $700 if you would do it with Steve in person. We'll also get a 2-hour interview with 11-time kettlebell world champion Dennis Vasilev. You get a 1-hour video where we cover all the necessary exercises that you will need to do this program, and we will take you through it step by step. Another part of the bonus content is a video where we will teach you all the necessary mobility and warm-up routines so that your joints are ready to tackle the workouts. We actually offer this type of coaching in real life, and we call it the Fat Burner Package, where we offer 3 personal trainings per week with additional nutrition coaching along the way. All of the experience from this high-intensity coaching is now densely packed into this workout course called 90 Days of Kettlebells for 97 Swiss francs, and that's exactly $105 US. Click on the link below, either in the description or as a big blue button, and start your kettlebell journey now. 90 Days of Kettlebells is waiting for you to help you get in shape of your life for the rest of your life.